Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another StarCraft 2, not a 1 versus 1 replay cast. It is a StarCraft 2, but this is actually going to be my coverage of Afreeca World number 28. For those of you that maybe are unaware, maybe say are new to the channel, I run a tournament for Afreeca TV called Afreeca World, basically for high-level players, just sort of in like a nice bite-sized tournament. Now, for those of you that follow me on Twitter and everything, unfortunately, I wasn't able to live cast the last tournament. Falcon Paladin, who I co-cast with, usually did a great job of holding down the fort, and the reason for that was because I've been 4 days without power. I literally just got it back like an hour ago. And so I thought, all right, well, I can finally cast some StarCraft 2 because I've been chomping at the bit. So this is going to be a little bit different than, say, the usual Afreeca World casts. I don't know the results for the tournament yet, so going into this, I mean, we've got ourselves what's going to be a fantastic Terran versus Protoss series. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, representing Team Root, it's herO. And spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's KeeN. Let me just do a quick check here. SCV just getting stabbed in the background, but just checking if KeeN's on a team at the moment. I think he might have just been picked up. No, yeah. I think he's sort of like in purgatory with maybe being sponsored by Afreeca or something like that. I know nothing, but don't quote me on that. But no, so KeeN, a very high-level Terran player, very consistent from the old days. And herO, he's taken a bit of a hiatus. He's had a bit of a lull in his play, not playing as often and then just not really competing either, but he seems to be back in full force. That's why I thought, all right, we got to see what form this guy's in again. And so far, he's being very, very cheeky with his probe here, harassing KeeN. And now, like I said, this is the coverage for Afreeca World. So this is a best of 5. A Terran versus Protoss between two high-level players. It should be a great one. And so I introduced the players and everything, but we're going to see how these two will play it out. I'm still learning personally about the new patch. I haven't been able to watch as much StarCraft 2 as I'd like to. Of course, I'm always keeping up on all the tournaments and stuff, but actually watching every game and stuff can be hard to do. But as far as casting, there's not much better than Afreeca World. So now KeeN, he's just opened up with a Marine. He actually skipped, or no, he's got his Reaper, pardon me, and it's harassing herO on this side of the map, pardon me. All right, getting back into that saddle, guys. So Reaper harassing probes for KeeN. We'll see if he's actually able to get one. The Adept for herO is out, but he did indeed lose that first probe. Reaper's got to get out of there. No, herO's actually going to kill the Reaper of KeeN, which is a bit of a bummer. And actually, another Adept for herO is actually on the other side of the map, getting a lot of work done. Probe helping out that Adept. It actually just straight up kills the Marine. And now it's got free reign in KeeN's base. A Marine's going to try and shut it down, but herO wants to focus down some of these SCVs. KeeN's doing a fantastic job pulling them out. Sorry, guys, I've sort of just been going on a tirade while all this is going on in the background. Just crazy openings coming out of both these guys. So the Reaper for KeeN did go down, and that's a bummer. He lost 2 Marines to that Adept that came on in, and another one's coming in, but he does have these Marines. He's got the Hellion, so he should be fine. Okay, now, so yeah. We'll see. Now, herO, though, he's committing to a lot more Adepts, so this Hellion and these Marines got to go back. What else does KeeN have? He's actually forced to run. These Adepts just shade right on top. One of the Marines goes down. The Hellion has to pull back, and suddenly KeeN not able to take his natural. SCV has to sacrifice itself. The doorway was closed. herO does eat a Widowmine shot. 2 of these Adepts are now fairly weak, but still, he's getting good harassment done, not allowing KeeN to mine at his natural. This game really heated up very quickly. Now, these 2 Adepts, they're going to be walled out once again. Meanwhile, KeeN tacking up this opening. He's going for a 3rd command center behind this. You're locked in your base with limited options. You say, may as well throw up that command center. So this game really starting off hectic here, just all that going on. Oh man, these guys certainly are pulling me right back into it. So now these 2 Adepts for herO just teasing KeeN. SCVs are transferring down into the natural, but he's basically just a doorman at this point, just making sure that these Adepts cannot shade on in. Here they go for another shade, but look at this herO. He's coming in, and Stalker Phoenix coming on in as well. He may try and do one of these sort of cute busts that Protoss sometimes do. They hit Terran right when Terran is weak. However, KeeN, he's got this 1 Widowmine. He's got out the Cyclone, which will help out tremendously. He locked onto the Stalker, but he's got to be careful not to lose that Cyclone. Does a good job retreating back. That Widowmine's there. It detonates on the Phoenix, and that frees the Cyclone with a bit of help from the Marines. But there we are now. The Cyclone can poke and prod these units. KeeN even throwing up a bunker for safety, which is something I really like. herO on his side of the map, he's going to be taking some Liberator harassment, which is very nice coming out of KeeN. This Liberator working on some of these probes, 4 go down in total, and then a recall's forced. Some units may actually be, okay, it was just 1 Phoenix that was recalled, but a fair bit of mining time being denied. If we look at the income, this is very, very nice for KeeN. So the opening is very hectic, but so far KeeN not doing too bad, holding up anything, any sort of counter follow-ups or anything like that. herO really is going to be testing KeeN, but I love the fact that KeeN committed to a bunker. He's getting up a siege tank, and so he's being very careful, trying to stay very safe. Now here's coming in. He's going to be moving in with these Phoenix, these Stalkers. He may try and lift up the tank, but with the mine, with the bunker, the Cyclone, it's going to be very tough for herO to break this. Protoss players commit to this sort of odd amount of units at an odd timing, and sometimes it can absolutely just kill a Terran, but KeeN seems more than prepared, taking this very seriously. 3 Adepts shade into the natural, but KeeN pulls back, and these Adepts, they're going to have to shade on out. Some of them may actually go down. We see one of those Adepts dies. Another one very well may, no, actually gets out. Nicely done for herO, but still not able to get as much done as he'd like. Back on KeeN's side of the map, if we remember, he got up that first fast 3rd command center, so he's able to drop those mules quickly. He's now getting up the rest of the production. Okay, so the Forge on the way. Twilight on the way for herO. He's yet to throw up a 3rd base. He's got the Robo, which is nice for him, but he's eventually going to want to get up a 3rd base. He invested in all of these units, all of these Stalkers. And you may say, well, Stalker timings are a pretty normal thing, but this wasn't a blink timing or anything, guys. This was literally just Stalkers, Adepts, Phoenix wanting to try and find a weakness, but KeeN showed none, and so he's perfectly fine to move on into the macro stage of this game in a pretty good situation, because herO, he's just starting his +1, whereas KeeN, he's got his 1-1 on the way. herO's going into charge, getting up more gateways and immortals. He's only on 2 bases. We'll see if he even throws up a 3rd base. He may try and just 2 base it. And the fact that he's getting up a lot of gateways and a Templar Archives, that's a lot of tech to invest into when you are just on 2 bases. So he very well maybe just be going for one of those 2 base plays. Phoenix are coming in for herO. Gonna lift up some injured SCVs, gets 3 of them. Cyclone gonna show these Phoenix the door, but still 3 SCVs. That's what you need to do. The road to a comeback, that's for sure. And make no mistake, guys, just the nature of herO's opening. He is behind at this stage in the game. But regardless of how this game's going, it is really great to see how herO's playing. Nice scan from KeeN, shuts down that observer. 3rd command center flying to the 3rd base location, exactly where it belongs. Phoenix coming in once again, lifting up some more SCVs. So a nice move by herO this game. He's killed off 8 SCVs, but he's lost 7 probes. KeeN scans the 3rd base, knows that this timing is fantastic for him. These 3 Phoenix are being a pain still. They've got lots of energy. Yeah, those Marines are going to shoo him away. I'm going to find another SCV perhaps, which is nice, but if we look at the army now, KeeN's army it's no joke. 24 Marines, 2 tanks with Medivac support versus Stalkers without blink, which is the majority of herO's army. He's getting up some High Templar. Looks like he may be planning on getting into Psystorm, but he can't really afford it, or he hasn't started that upgrade yet. So he's got these High Templar, which are actually going to be in the Warp Prism, but there's no Storm on the way for herO, so that could either be a mistake, and I think the fact that he's keeping them in the Prism, that's a mistake, right? Like, if you're going for High Templar in a Prism, you're going to be dropping them to Storm, but that's not a thing for herO. KeeN's scanning as well. He's gonna know he's in a pretty good situation right now. He's just building up this army. Looks like he's getting ready to move out with this bow. He's got tanks, he's got Liberators now, even adding Widow Mines into this. He's in a very fantastic position now. Storm is just starting for herO. Looks like he may have realized that, you know, you actually do need the Psystorm. And his army, it's not terrible. Immortals, they provide a good backbone for a Protoss army. Even an Archon in the mix will help. But by the way, that Archon looks sick. A lot of the skins lately are just awesome. Now that, alright, so Marine runs in for KeeN, kills off one of herO's probes. Always nice since herO is on a low amount, but looks like herO's powering up, just wanting to try and break his opponent. But he's got these High Templar in the Warp Prism, but there's no Psystorm yet, so he can't actually try and bait KeeN into a Storm because there's no Storm to be had. KeeN's just poking and prodding for now, staying safe, making sure not to overextend away from his tanks and Liberators. He's got up this nice supply depot wall. Walls are important in StarCraft 2, guys. Just versus like a mass zealot army, they're actually so important for Terran to have. Now, Zealot's warping in. Looks like herO may be waiting for, say, a 1-1 timing, or he's actually just going to go for it. His +1 armor not quite done, but he does have Psystorm now, which is a big component to this. Psystorm's going down on KeeN's army, absolutely huge. The Liberator's still putting out a lot of damage, the Widowmine's going off, and a lot of KeeN's bulk has survived, but not all of it actually fighting. hero's really trying to break his opponent. He's trying to kill KeeN here, make no mistake. Now, Immortals are being juggled in this Warp Prism, and KeeN may actually be wearing thin. Siege Tank doing the best it can, units rallying out, but KeeN realizing that this is getting really desperate for him. SCVs are forced to be pulled now. The Immortals are really all that's left for herO, it seems, so he's microing them with the Prism to the best of his ability, warping in some more Zealots, though, and this is actually looking pretty scary for KeeN. The Widowmine's going to go off, though, hit some of the Immortals. The Warp Prism's weak. It should be going down momentarily. And alright, now the Zealots, they're pursuing what's left of KeeN's army, but it seems that herO may be wearing thin. The army supply is actually so close. 26 SCVs died for KeeN. herO, he's got a Warp Prism and a Dream. This Immortal may be looking for that tank as it's being ferried around in that Warp Prism, but that Warp Prism's so weak, and herO's army really was cleaned up, but he really reset things a fair bit. I mean, he did a fair bit of damage. KeeN's SCV count is down, so his production's going to be stifled, but herO really committed to that attack. There's hardly any probes on his third base, so while he did a good bit of damage to his opponent's economy, he wasn't following this up. He doesn't have any extra Robotech or anything else on the way. Now, herO got some more High Templar out, and I mean, Protoss with Storm and a Dream is always good, but KeeN is just continuing on with his bio, getting up more Ghosts after the first few that rallied out were greeted by that Protoss army there. But yeah, now looks like herO may actually be going for it once again. There's Widowmines in position for KeeN though, so this may be a little bit risky, and the 2-2 for KeeN is really what's going to make this. I mean, 2-2 bio is just so much better versus the Zealots, as it really helps cut down on their tankiness. herO loses a Zealot there as KeeN's poking back. KeeN knows this army is getting ready to dive on top of him, and that's why he's being so careful. Warp Prism with a High Templar in it, drops one of the Templars. Storm goes down, KeeN eats that, but he's got still got a lot to fall back on. Widowmines are detonating on these Zealots, so herO's army may be wearing thin. It looks like KeeN may have this. herO attacks on in, but no, looks like that's going to be it. GG. KeeN takes game number 1 of Afreeca World number 28. And guys, since I'm just doing this sort of for YouTube at this stage, keep in mind though that this was all broadcast on Afreeca TV, so the raw VOD is there on my channel of Falcon Paladin casting, and also that there's going to be more games in this video. We're just going to hop right on into the next one. If you guys can just give me just half a second here. Okay, the next map's going to be Stasis. Literally just going to load right on into that. There we go. KeeN versus herO. I'm going to have a short break. Usually I do duo cast these days with Falcon Paladin, but not too different from the usual replay casts. So just going to have a quick drink here. All right. But here we are. It's a best of 5 between these two. Spawning in the right-hand side of the map, it's KeeN. And his opponent spawning in the left-hand side of the map, it's herO. So herO, he tried to bring that sort of bit of early pressure, and that attack he went for versus KeeN was looking mighty scary. I mean, KeeN really had to pull together to make that hold happen. And he took a fair bit of damage, but unfortunately for herO, it wasn't quite enough damage. So we'll see how this game's gonna go for herO for KeeN, pardon me. Being up 1-0 versus herO is very nice, because I mean, he is one of those players who can sort of, on the turn of a dime, suddenly it's like, wow, I just got rushed with some crazy builds once or twice, and now I'm down in the series. But yeah, KeeN having that lead is very nice. So we'll see what hero's going to do. Opening up double gas already is interesting enough, so makes me think it's going to be a Cybercore already, although he's moving down with his probe. So just fast double gas, and there we go. We're seeing up an extra pylon first. All right, so this is screaming a bit of aggression coming out of herO. So he's bringing the pain onto KeeN, and there we go. There's that Cybercore up. So when a Protoss has double gas this early, that is something nefarious. So first pylon is up, but second one down at the natural. We'll see what this is going to be for. Dare I say, could this be for a Tempest Rush? I mean, it's sort of tucked away at the back there. And then, yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's mining as much gas as he can. And this was like a very fast second gas. So we'll see. Another probe going to be moving on down. What is herO up to? KeeN not scouting yet this game. Reaper's going to be moving out eventually. He's just going for his normal expand build. But there we go, a Stargate. Guys, I have a feeling that this is going to be a Tempest Rush. It's already a very fast Stargate. We'll see if KeeN ends up scouting this. The probe is hanging out. Or is he just going to expand behind us? Okay, so it's just a very fast Stargate. Part of me wants to see Tempest because this really is the map for it. And if there's a Protoss at such a high level who's dirty enough to do something like this, it's like, all right, this is a herO play. Maybe SOS too, but no, this is definitely a herO play. Adept's moving across the map. This is a very fast Adept. KeeN's Reaper going to be using the high ground to work away on that. And Reapers, they deal a fair bit of damage to Adept, so that's not too bad for him. And KeeN, he's opened up, he's got his factory up behind this making Marines, but he abandons the construction of that CC because he knows that's there. But, it's an Oracle that's on the way. Adept does a good job shooing that Reaper away, so it hasn't been identified. So KeeN's still more or less in the dark. He sees the Nexus timing, and he's a good player, so you should be able to infer that that's a little bit off. But an Oracle's already on the way. KeeN's following this up with a Widow Mine, however. And the Adept could be in a fair bit of trouble for herO right now. It's being chased by this Hellion, and Hellions, they also deal a fair bit of damage to Adepts. Now, the Adept does get out of there. The Reaper for KeeN, thinking of diving on in here. He is very unsure about this. He's checking, sees the Nexus, and he actually checks the back of that. He sees the Stargate. Now, a Stalker's going to be able to shoo this Reaper away. It looks like he's really seen all the tech that he needs to see. A bit of miss micro there for KeeN. Actually does cost him the Reaper. So not having that's a bit of a bummer, but suddenly we see this Oracle's coming in, and two Adepts are actually going to shade on into the main base. They actually changed their shade direction at the last seconds, but now the two Adepts, they're in the main base of the Terran player. They're going to be working away on these Marines. The Oracle's engaging the Marines, working away on them. The Oracle goes down, though, which is very unfortunate for herO not having that for later on, but another Oracle rallying across the map. There's a Widow Mine at the natural, though. We'll see if that Widow Mine's going to be able to connect with that Oracle. So far, it hasn't found anything. A Cyclone on the way, a very good defensive unit, but look at this. These Adepts, they're able to shade on in. Is herO going to commit? No, he's not. And herO, he's got a fair bit of damage done to KeeN with this. He killed the 6 Marines, the Reaper. It's not worker damage, but it's unit damage, so it'll weaken any sort of follow-up or anything like that coming out of his opponent. KeeN's building a bunker, which is something that I love to see, to be able to be safe versus what herO is throwing out at him. But look at this herO. He's throwing up another pylon when he has one here already. And he's actually just going to be diving onto his opponent. Now, the Widow Mine wasn't repositioned to be at the front, so these Oracles are looking to put a lot of damage out on this. The bunker was not yet done. herO's breaking on in here. The Cyclone actually getting caught up on those units, going to get focused down. The Widow Mine also gets focused down. SCVs are pulled versus this. A tank's about to pop out. The depots need to be raised, and there they go. 3 SCVs have died so far. A siege tank is out. The Viking's also out here, which will help tremendously for shooting away the Oracles. That Viking just needs to pop off that Oracle, and there's no high ground vision. He gets it, so there's no high ground vision for herO, so the tank stays alive to put out more damage. KeeN, though, he's being forced away from his natural base. Meanwhile, herO, he's probing up behind this, getting up his extra gases, so he's dealing a fair bit of damage now. Phoenix is coming up to give high ground vision. However, KeeN was already repairing that tank, which is nice. It's going to buy him some time. The tank staying alive here wasn't able to focus it down, which is so important. It's just a handful of Stalkers here at the natural, and it looks like KeeN's getting ready to collapse on top of these. He may be able to pick them off. Cyclone's going to lock onto one of those Stalkers, picks it off, which is nice. herO's warped in a few more Stalkers. He's got 6 in total. He's killed 7 SCVs, but it looks like he's actually just going home. He's content with the damage he got done. Now KeeN, he's following this up with his Cloak Banshee, getting up a siege tank behind this. So herO, he did a fair bit of damage, more damage than I'd say that the last sort of odd push had, but yeah, and he's following this one up, so we'll see how he's gonna take this one, or what direction he's gonna take it. KeeN should be safe from any further aggression. For now, he's got up to 2 siege tanks. But the main thing for KeeN is he's getting into this Cloak Banshee. And the question is, does herO know about this? No Banshees out just yet. The first one will pop. KeeN's got to be careful what direction he takes it, though, because if herO sees it, Banshees really rely on the element of surprise. Adepts for herO are still shading. They're sort of teasing his opponent. But look at this. The Banshee flies over the pylon, and herO knows about it. Yeah, he moves those Adepts. He should definitely be aware of that. So the fact that he knows about the Banshee is absolutely huge. He starts up a shield battery in each base. So this is going to be pretty rough for KeeN. He's not going to be able to get any counter damage done, but... Well, not able to get any counter damage done with the Banshee, but he does have these 3 tanks. He's starting to build up a decent chunk of units here. Marine count slowly rising. So we may just see KeeN go for a bit of an odd move out. Keep in mind herO's tech and everything was delayed. He's securing a 3rd base behind this. He's going into Resonating Glaives as his tech of choice. Wait, did KeeN build another Reaper? Yes, he actually did. Look at that. Not something you see every day. KeeN lost his first Reaper, but now he's getting out another one. It's going to dive into the main base. Sees no robotics bay or anything like that. I'm still getting those back to front, but yeah, he sees the count of the gateways, which is always nice. herO's got a Warp Prism. KeeN's cleaning up these pylons. I mean, KeeN's not in a terrible situation, but herO definitely got a fair bit of damage done to put himself into a decent situation in this game. Looks like the Banshees came in, but they quickly got out, as one of them's being repaired there, but they both stayed alive. They can be used in a follow-up push. KeeN, he's getting up Stim, getting up Combat Shield, building up his siege tank count still. Whereas herO did invest in these Resonating Glaives, and he's been warping in a ton of Adepts. And so it does look like herO's going to be going for a move out versus his opponent, and we'll really see how KeeN prepares for this. He's getting up a wall already. It's not a total wall off yet. The 2 Banshees are coming on out, and I mean, the tanks are spread out nicely, but we'll see if these Adepts do end up just shading on in. The 2 Banshees are actually coming on home for KeeN. And we'll see if he knows about this attack. More Adepts are warping on in, so herO's really going to be committing onto this. KeeN does not have Stim yet. Keep in mind, his +1 attack is going to be done in a second, which will help him out. His wall off is not yet done. There's going to be a gap, and that's all these Adepts need to shade right on in here. The +1 not yet done, so he's not going to have that. He at least has Combat Shield. He's got a good spread on his tanks. And herO's Adepts, they actually just sort of dive into the natural, but they don't fully commit. So this is actually pretty nice for KeeN. These Adepts, their numbers have already been thinned out a little bit. If they commit onto this tank, I'm not sure how well this is going to work out. Tanks shoot down the sentries. Looks like herO's planning on walling this out, but this attack is actually just falling hard on its face for herO. His attack really was disjointed. He's warping on more Adepts in the main base, but he really doesn't have the bulk to commit onto KeeN now. Adepts are going to shade on into the natural. There's some that have been warped into the main base, but Stim is done, so these Marines can now engage into this. Adepts shaded into the natural, but there's plenty of tanks to work away in them. KeeN can afford to lose a few SCVs. He's got up at 3rd base. He's got his +1 done as well. Some Marauders are chasing down this army. The Warp Prism is warping in more Adepts into the main base. We'll see if there's going to be enough for KeeN to shoo this away. This is becoming a formidable amount of Adepts in the base for KeeN. He may need to pull some of the units from his natural to help deal with this. These Adepts are actually going to shade on into the natural now, and they cancel. So now herO, he's just got a ton of Adepts in the main base of his opponent. More Adepts are warping on in. KeeN's pulling these back, pulling the siege tank back. Needs to, I think, raise those depots to prevent any getting into his natural, but it looks like herO may just be committing right on top of that. KeeN's got a fair bit of bio, though, and this is +1 attack bio, so it should chew through the Adepts pretty quickly, and it looks like he's able to do that. He's lost 15 SCVs, but on herO's side of the map, I think it must have been the Banshees that did a fair bit of counter damage. We saw 30 SCVs die on herO's side of the map. Pardon me for missing that. My observing skills are still warming up. But GG, yeah, KeeN. Look at that. He takes a 2-0 lead in this series. Okay. So we'll get on into the next map. It's going to be Parasite between these two guys. And normally when it's just like a run-on, one VOD, but I'm just going to be casting this series, and then I'll be casting the next series. But I'll be doing that in a separate video, so yeah, so we'll see. I mean, herO's going to have to make the comeback, and he's a very good player, but maybe he still is working off some of that rust. So here we are. It's a best of 5. Spawning up the top left-hand side of the map. In this Afreeca world, he's technically an undefeated king, I guess. It's KeeN. And the reason I say that, guys, is that KeeN, He won the last Afreeca World he played in, but then he sort of abdicated his title because he couldn't make that one. So then we had Bunny in this tournament, who won the one that KeeN was not in. And then we also have a Laser from EU, so this is actually just awesome. We have so many champions, but this guy, he probably wants to win this tournament too. It's herO, playing for Team Root. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage of this solo cast for Afreeca World. I'll be casting all the games. I mean, I'm the one who organizes these tournaments and everything. I've been doing them since 2017, so for me, not to be able to cast one live, that was a bit of a disappointment, but Falcon did a great job of that, so... But I still, of course, wanted to go over all the games and everything. I have to know what sort of happened in the tournament. Alright, but... we'll see what herO's going to be doing. He's gone for that fast double gas again, so he really likes this aggressive play. The fact that there's already an extra pylon going up. And there's the Cybercore, so this time going for a very quick Zealot. Likely going to be running that across the map towards his opponent. No Chrono being dumped into this, likely saving that for an Adept or a Stalker to follow that up. Meanwhile, on KeeN's side of the map, he's just been playing pretty standard. herO's the one who's been bringing out all the aggression. Okay, so that Zealot going to be popping out in a second. Meanwhile, the Cybercore is researching. And there we go, that Zealot now crossing the map. herO, he's likely going to want to have this Zealot getting in as the Reaper for KeeN is getting close towards his main base. And the main goal of this is that it'll miss the path of the Reaper. Sometimes they'll cross paths and the Reaper will have to be like awkwardly start shooting the Zealot. And Reapers take basically 1 billion years to kill a lone Zealot. But of course, as long as you micro, they'll do that. But look at this, yeah, herO pathing this Zealot out. Meanwhile, KeeN's Reaper, it's going to be diving into the main base. However, there's already an Adept following this up. And so the Zealot, it's crossing the map. If we look at the timing for this, here goes this Zealot. And looks like it will be able to get on in before that SCV's out. But what? KeeN went for a second Reaper again. Whoa. Is this just a stylistic thing? But I bet herO wasn't expecting there to be a second Reaper. However, his Zealot does make it into the natural. The second Reaper is still going across the map. There's a Stalker in herO's main base, and now KeeN, he's going to have these 2 Reapers out. This is a bit odd. However, there's now a Zealot and an Adept at his natural, so he needs something to deal with this. He's going for a Cyclone. The thing is, sometimes these attacks usually just have like an Adept that's canceling the building of the command center, but this time there's actually a Zealot, which puts out a lot of damage, so it can potentially actually cancel that command center. We'll see this Cyclone, it's got 16 seconds to finish up this command center. It's being worked on, but I don't think this Zealot's quite got it in him. Meanwhile, these 2 Reapers for KeeN getting on in here, killing 2 probes. But if we look at this, yeah, herO, he's playing on erring on the side of caution, as that Cyclone does pop out. And so that does allow herO to get, or does allow KeeN to get up his command center. Now 2 Reapers, it's a bit of an odd opening for Terran. It's like this is kind of TvT, but it's really cool to see this. One of these Reapers gets hit by the Adept though, so KeeN has to be careful with that. They're just running away for now. I'm not actually sure on the math, guys. I'll be real with you. I'm not sure on the math of what wins in a fight. I guess it really comes down to micro, whether 2 Reapers can beat a single Adept. But no, KeeN, he committed to this mag field accelerator, so he is going to be testing herO a little bit with this, following it up with a siege tank. Got these 2 Reapers out. His 2 Cyclones are now moving out on the map. There's a hallucinated Phoenix moving out for herO to give him some sort of information. He did see that the mag field accelerator was researching. He sees the 3rd command center up on the way, sees the extra barracks. But we'll see if KeeN's actually going to commit on into this. For now, it is just Stalkers. herO's getting into Blink to deal with this, but these are Cyclones with mag field accelerator, so that one Stalker just gets focused down very quickly. One of the Reapers does die. But as far as micro goes, there's nothing to really shut down these Cyclones. If they just lock onto the Stalkers, they should be fine to kill them off. There we go. One of them dies very quickly. Ooh, however, poor micro by KeeN. He does lose one of those Cyclones. If it's just gateway units without any sort of extra tech, the Terran shouldn't really be losing a Cyclone to that, unless there's, say, maybe sentries that force field the Cyclones in. But that was a bit unfortunate by KeeN losing one of those. However, that wasn't a big attack or anything. KeeN, he's been very content to macro up in this game. He's getting up his 3 barracks. He's got up his third command center, and herO is just taking his own third. So while this game had a bit of an odd opening, it is being somewhat more of a passive opening. However, as I say that, herO's got his blink stalkers, so he's free to move across the map, test his opponent, but with a tank and a bunker, I imagine KeeN should be fine. Oh, but look at this herO, he's gonna blink into the main base. I was wondering, there was no observer, but there we go. A hallucinated Phoenix gonna allow herO to blink into the main base. There is, however, a tank in position to protect the stim, which is so important for KeeN. If herO had been able to cancel the stim, that could have potentially been game ending, but for now, these stalkers, they just have to poke and prod and then eventually get out. So herO not quite getting anything, which is unfortunate for him. So good defense from KeeN, just not taking any significant damage from these early pokes or anything like that. herO trying to get an SCV, keeps the keeps those stalkers alive, but in the end he does take a fair bit of damage. Gets 2 SCVs, which is all right, and then they're equal on workers for now. herO getting into his own third base, so he's not terribly behind or anything like that. He's producing 3 probes at a time, but KeeN is going to be coming into his stim pack. He's going to be having up a good bit of bio production and eventually have up medivacs as well. And so herO's economy, it's a little bit behind KeeN's. Just the fact that the Terran got a very quick third base unpunished, really. And then herO, he's at least got his own fast upgrades on the way. He may even have an upgrade advantage, which is very important because it looks like he's going to be playing this sort of mass zealot gateway style. 5 gateways on the way, so is a warp prism. 3 stalkers warping in. Looks like they were just defensively. 3 tanks are out for KeeN. hero's stalkers, gotta be careful not to get shot by those. They'll just sort of disappear if that happens. So yeah, herO just committing to this gateway ground style. Getting up his 1-1 upgrades, which will greatly help out the zealots, but these stalkers, they gotta be careful. One of them gets picked off by KeeN, which is a nice find. As KeeN looks to secure his third base, he scans herO's third, sees a distinct lack of the 2 gases, which indicates that your opponent's not committing to anything super high tech, which means maybe there's going to be a bit of heavy zealot play or something like that. Now herO, he has warped in a fair few zealots. He's moving out with his sentries. He's getting into his 2-2. We'll see if he can hit a timing. It looks like he's certainly maybe planning on doing that. If he can hit a timing before KeeN's 1-1, I'd say it's doable, but he's got to do that in, say, like the next 10 seconds. So I'm not sure he's going to be able to make that happen. We've seen KeeN, he's repositioned his tanks. They won't be able to completely cover the third base, but KeeN with his bio should be able to kite versus this. A Colossus is actually hallucinated by herO, maybe trying to scare his opponent. KeeN scans though, sees it's a fake, but look at this, herO actually just going to be trying to get the third base, and he doesn't get the third base, which is absolutely huge for KeeN not losing that. KeeN, however, has been drawn out into this fight. Few zealots are spilling forward, and they are 1-1 zealots, so compared to the last game, which was 2-2 versus 1-1, so these guys on equal upgrades is pretty important for herO. However, he would have liked to hit that timing a little bit earlier, but he's still getting into his 2-2. He's playing this heavy sort of gateway ground style, so he's committing to a 4th base, which is very important to sort of feed this high unit production Protoss. herO just lifts up these stalkers into his warp prism. Not going to be able to commit on to anything, I don't think. But yeah, getting up more Immortals back at home, really just to be the backbone of his army, it seems. Got some stalkers in this prism. Liberators are out though, so KeeN able to really lock this down with mines, tanks, liberators, a good bit of bio. herO, if he had gotten that third base, it would have been huge. Unfortunately for him, he didn't. That was actually so close. Warp prism moves forward. We'll see if he can get this Widow Mine. Stalker blinks to bait that shot out. KeeN pulls back the mine though, very nicely done. Stalkers are being microed in this warp prism, just trying to keep KeeN on his toes. Ooh, one of them actually goes down. So herO really testing his opponent, but look at this, he commits to a 5th base behind this. So he's now double expanding as a Protoss player, which is very risky, but it's what you need to do if you're really going to feed this heavy ground style. herO is going to have a very significant economy, but only 8 warp gates, which, I mean, on this economy that he's going to be getting up, he's probably going to want to get up, say, 2 more gateways or so. And then maybe another round of probes, which he's producing. So he's got his 2-2 already. KeeN's is a fair bit off. So herO, he's already heading into his 3-3. Is he chrono boosting that out? Yeah, he is, so he really wants out that 3-3. And there we go, 2 more gateways on the way, Dark Shrine even. herO is really committing to this ground-based gateway style, and this is honestly such a fun style to watch. Terran versus Protoss. So far, KeeN's done a very good job defending versus it. But yeah, we'll see. For now, herO, he's got up his 5th base, so he's on a very, very strong economy. KeeN's only on 3 bases. No sign, well, as I say, I get cut off there as I realize KeeN has started a 4th base, just in his main base. Now, KeeN, he's beginning to move out. He's, of course, always worried about a big attack coming from his opponent, but he's been committing to so many Liberators. herO is maxed out, so is KeeN. The thing for herO, though, is he will be able to replace these units very rapidly, but as KeeN's army has been building up, it's been a little bit more high value than that of herO's. herO's coming up this ramp that looks like he's going to be engaging into KeeN. These Marauders and Marines are just sniping off these Zealots as they spill forward. Stalkers are really only there to make sure that they can't just kite indefinitely, as the Stalkers can pick off some of those units. KeeN is stimming a lot. He's got a decent chunk of medivacs to keep these units alive, but they're getting rather orange here. He's now retreating into his tanks, so herO has to be careful, but it looks like herO's actually just going to be going for it. Blinks forward with the Stalkers, starts focusing down these Liberators, but Tank's doing a lot of damage. Looks like herO may have to back off now. However, KeeN's bio count, it has been thinned out a fair bit. Both players still on relatively even supply. That Warp Prism staying alive, which is so important. There it is in that army. Looks like herO may be trying to get another command center, but looks like once again he's not going to be able to get it, as that command center likely just going to be getting out. It looks like, oh, it's just so close, but yeah, look at that. KeeN repairing it just in time, and suddenly now we're seeing herO, he's being forced back. He lost 10 probes while this was going on. I didn't quite catch what that was too. I didn't actually catch what killed off those workers there, but oh man, herO, yeah. It's important to note this game that herO's gas consumption has been pretty much just off 1 base. And when I say pretty much just 1 base, I literally mean it. But here we see herO, he's committing to another fight. Immortals are walking forward. Stalkers are trying to focus down these Liberators, and they're actually doing a pretty darn good job. The Stalkers taking out all the Liberators. The Zealots and Immortals are spilling forward. The main thing is this is 3-3 for herO versus 2-2 for KeeN. So these units are going the extra distance. KeeN, once again, his 4th base has been shut down. And he does eventually need to secure that, because herO, he's on a very good economy. 5 bases, just producing pretty much mass Zealots. And then just a little bit of gas units. As herO on 3 gases at 13 minutes into this game. He's going to be close to mining out these ones in his main base. So he may eventually have to take more, but for now he's really just been content. Just getting his upgrades off that little bit of gas income. And then making a lot of ground units. KeeN, he's loaded up a medivac. He's going to be going for a drop. There's really no defense at any of herO's bases, as he's just been applying the pressure to KeeN so much, but once again, we're going to be seeing herO go for it. He's even researching DT Blink, but I'm not sure that's going to come into effect this game. Once again, KeeN's going to try and secure this location. herO's testing his opponent. Ghosts are so important. EMP working away on a Protoss army is huge. There goes one, pretty good. Going to really soften up that army, but now we're seeing Zealots and Stalkers coming to deal with this drop. It will be shut down, this, so herO not going to take too much damage from this. KeeN going to focus down a couple of probes, but there we go. He gets 3. Nothing too significant so far. herO, this sort of war machine, is staying powered to continuously keep pressuring KeeN. KeeN, though, he's taking this very seriously, setting up a lot of turrets, sensor towers, just knowing it's important to really play defensive here versus herO. herO, though, coming on in, he's focusing down these supply depots. We're just picking them off there. KeeN, however, he's moved down with some of his army. He was trying to snipe this base. Looks like he will be able to get it. Stalkers will be able to pursue, pop off a few of the medivacs. Nicely done. herO, he's now got to even up his shield upgrades. Got to be careful not to overcommit still, but the fact that he's got this +1 shield will help him out. We'll see if he ever does start that +2 shield. KeeN's getting up his +3 attack, which will help him out. But there we go, herO getting into his +2 shield. That's really how Protoss can try and keep, say, an upgrade lead, in a sense. Now, herO, once again, double expanding. He's forced to rebuild that Nexus, but also securing another base, as he's got a very good economy still. We'll see if eventually if he'll tech into something else, as Zealots and Stalkers are not the best. If you're building a bank, you probably want to be investing in, say, some other tech, say, maybe at a Robo Bay and Robo Facility. 1 or 2 Colossus can make the world a difference versus a Terran who's not been making Vikings. Looks like herO going to be trying to break up this location. Has to take down the rocks, but will be able to get a siege tank, but not able to commit on in. KeeN with his Liberators is being very relentless in his defense, and so far he is able to secure this 4th base. Sensor Tower is really letting him know where his opponent's army is at. And herO, there we go. We are indeed seeing a robotics bay get up. Even 2 more robotics facilities, so he's going to have 3 in total. That could be a lot of Colossus production. KeeN's getting up a fusion core, getting up +2 ship weapons, but look at this, herO thinking of committing on in, but he's actually not just yet, so he's retreating. It would also maybe be good if we saw Storm out of herO, but when you're versus a Terran who's already gone Ghosts, Colossus definitely is a good option. And herO just getting up this extra base, getting up static defense at his bases, very important. So far, KeeN has just been kept back. I mean, the engagements, EMPs have constantly been going down here. Looks like herO is going to be going for it once again. His own force field's kind of working against him there. And KeeN always has this safe location to retreat to with all of his Liberators. Eventually, once that fusion core is done, I imagine he'll be getting into Liberator range. We're seeing a lot of the Zealots have gone down. Warp Prism actually gets focused down, so herO could be in a bit of trouble right now. Bio trading versus this. KeeN stepping forward to trade versus the Immortals, but the Gateway unit's doing surprisingly well with all their high upgrades, but this army of herO is starting to wear thin. He's lost around 6 probes somewhere out on the map as well. Ah, there we go. It was a drop, but herO forced to recall with what he's got. He's got a very good bank, and with high gateway production, he can always remax really quickly. He's got these robos, though. We'll see if he makes anything, and it's actually double Disruptor. He's got an extra robo, though, so it could be triple Disruptor. Call me greedy. But that one's built in the Warp Prism, so now we see KeeN. He's moving out once again. herO's got these DTs and Blink, though. KeeN's burning a scan, but he can always EMP those DTs. That one DT gets focused down. And we'll see. I mean, herO's Nexus is under fire. He can afford to lose one of these, and he's really down on army supply now, so he does have to respect the army of KeeN. He's warping in another 10 Zealots, really building up that army supply. He's got the Disruptors as well. Going to be looking for some good Novas. And herO, yeah, he lost a base, but he's still got a pretty solid economy. KeeN's is going to be running out before that of herO's. herO can always also expand to the left once again. Disruptor Nova's going out. Looks like one of the Disruptors was picked off there. Or was it? Must have been an observer then, pardon me. Alright. So this game is absolutely insane. It's just been going on so long here as these two guys have been facing off. herO, gotta be careful not to... There's just so many Liberators for KeeN. There's 11 Liberators up, and when you only have 16 Stalkers, that's a tough thing to beat. So herO may eventually need to start going into something like Tempest, or even Psystorm, which can work versus Liberators. Of course, with all the Ghosts, that's very tough, but, I mean, Protoss can work around Liberators with Gateway units, but when it's... Oh my god, so many Novas going out. Hold that thought. Oh my god, that was absolutely insane. KeeN pulling back. Zealots actually coming in for a surround, it looks like. They're actually all getting caught, so herO, he's got, like, what's this, 20 Zealots running to the north? He's maybe thinking of engaging on in here, however, these Zealots, they have been caught. Looks like they're going to be heading towards these bases here. One of them's a planetary, though. Zealots in a Prism in the center of the map are going to be caught as well. Prism will escape with those Zealots in it, though, and suddenly all these Zealots are going to be running towards this location. They're +3 Zealots, but SCV's repairing a planetary fortress is pretty good. The Zealots are getting a lot of surface area on it. They may actually be able to get it, which would be very nice for herO, and he is going to finally get one of those command centers. Stalkers are engaging into Liberators towards the front of KeeN's base. He's actually just walking on by him for now. Stalkers can maybe work away on some of these SCVs. So many Novas just go out for herO all at once. 26 SCVs have died. So KeeN taking a bit of a beating now. KeeN's got a few units on the ground here harassing, but he's the one who's really dropped down in supply. He's lost 26 SCVs. He lost a planetary fortress. Securing this base to the right was very nice for him, but herO, he's still got himself a pretty good bank to remax with. But you still definitely do have to respect all of these liberators. hero's being chased back as well, bleeding off a few units. KeeN's got to respect the disruptors though. So both these guys sort of just gotta play it very safe. Now we see KeeN coming in with a squad of bio, harassing the economy of herO. Trying to get anything he can done, but he will lose these units, and this is a handful of units. Gonna try and get what he can. KeeN repositioned all of his liberators. He's got that advanced ballistics up, so these liberators are better than they would be. Getting up a sensor tower, he's got a missile turret as well. The old scouting DT for herO going forward. Gets picked off there as it runs into the turret range. But this game is absolutely insane. This is why I love this sort of ground-based Protoss style when it can work, but herO also getting up extended thermal lance as he's made 3 Colossus. That triple robo production is pretty good. Now we see herO, he's going on in for it, eating a lot of Liberator shots, though, and he's actually losing a lot of Stalkers. KeeN came in from the side. Disruptors are picking off a fair bit of this army, but that was a pretty good fight for KeeN. KeeN, his economy isn't the best, but of course he does have those mules to help keep him going. He's floated a command center over to this location. This base on the right is so critical for him, by the way. If we also take note of the resources lost, KeeN is the player who's been playing more efficient. He's moving out on the map though, and this is pretty risky for him. Stalkers get right underneath a lot of the Liberators. Liberators are getting as many shots off as they can, but 3 Colossus are here. KeeN's being forced to retreat. So many Zealots are spilling forward. More unit reinforcements are coming in for KeeN, but he's forced to retreat now. He's lost a lot of his Liberators. Marauders are running for their lives with Zealots hot in pursuit. KeeN's gonna have to unload these units, retreat to his planetary fortress, and try and hold on for dear life, but I mean, he's still up on supply, so while that fight went bad, there's always a chance for him. hero's economy looks like it has been starting to run dry. A Warp Prism gets sniped off, which is very nice for him. And now it looks like, yeah, herO, he may be fed up. He may just be going for it, but this could be a bit of an overextension. KeeN's coming in from multiple angles. Marauders trying to focus down some of these Colossus coming from both sides. One of the Colossus does go down. The rest of KeeN's army, though, nowhere in sight, but now he's coming forward, chasing after this army, even throwing down an EMP for good measure. It looks like he will be able to clean up everything of hero's, and he may have done it. hero's economy has taken a fair bit of a beating, so his supply has dropped a ton. He's warping an 8 Dark Templar somewhere. Where are those 8 DTs? Liberators have been getting some good harassment off, but there we go. 8 DTs for herO, going to be moving out. This is one hell of a desperation play if I've ever seen it. What they're going to set their sights on, I'm not sure. They've got Blink and a Dream. herO is down on supply, 136 to 92. Where are these DTs going? Looks like they may be looking for this command center in the center here. Few Stalkers moving north for herO. Not sure what this is about. May as well, but looks like they will probably get caught. And yes, they will. Disruptors out, the comeback unit. Their AoE always powerful. Now these DTs killing off a lot of SCVs, but this command center can always lift, which is unfortunate. KeeN, of course, only going to have a limited number of scans, and these DTs can blink to escape. One of them runs back, which is very nice for herO. Keep that harassment going. Stalker's also poking and prodding. This is where herO really excels in the individual unit control. Baits out a scan. DTs find some more SCVs. KeeN, though, this base to the right has been so important for him, just keeping us alive. And suddenly he's moving across the map with a bit of bio, and I'm not sure hero's got the stuff to deal with it. I mean, he lost his Colossus, but he didn't remake any. So he's really just got Disruptors and a handful of Stalkers somewhere, which are moving all around the map. These DTs are going to find some of this bio. We'll see. hero's going to have to retreat with it. And suddenly we are seeing this bio is moving to the south, going to be picking off one of hero's critical bases. It looks like it could just be a slow death for herO at this point. Alright, Stalkers are coming down to try and catch this bio, but they're definitely not enough to deal with this. So they could just be running towards their death. herO can always micro them back, and he will do that. But he's lost a fair bit. He's got more Stalkers coming down, which can help out, but he's oddly split up now. Got to be careful when pursuing this army. Actually blinks under the Medivacs and gets 2, which is such a ballsy play, blinking towards bio, but he makes it work. Some DTs have been warped in to try and deal with this. KeeN scans, though. He's got on top of herO's robo production. A lot of disruptors are out to try and come in here, but they're a little bit late to the party. And herO, yeah, he's starting to fall apart, it looks like. His mining bases are really starting to run dry at this point. The bases on the left being shut down is so important for KeeN, who's still really just happily mining at this base to the right with a pretty steady income. Here comes KeeN moving forward. He does lose a medivac. herO comes forward with a lot of sentries. That may be a bit of an overcommitment, though. I mean, Stalkers not the best versus Bio, so they do trade out. Yeah, I mean, herO, he's still got a significant force, these Disruptors and Stalkers. Always with the dream, but here comes in KeeN once again with another drop, going to be focusing down another Nexus. herO's base just falling and falling. A counterattack going down as herO tries to secure this base to the left. But KeeN, he's still just got a steady economy. Another DT comes forward, going to begin working away on these units. Maybe going to get a Marauder here. That'd be nice, but there we go. A scan goes down. herO can, in theory, just keep warping in DTs. And eventually bait this out, but the Stalkers blink forward. DT's on top of this as well, also blinking. Trading out with this army, but there might not even be enough for herO here. KeeN's stimming forward with this Bio, working away on this army. The Stalker count starting to wear thin. He's trading out efficiently now, but I mean, if we look at the overall unit efficiency, herO has lost about 10,000 more resources than KeeN. And I'd say that's partially just due to this playstyle. He never got Psystorm. I know, of course, it's not the best versus Ghost, but 1 or 2 High Templar are always there to threaten, prevent the Terran from diving on top of you. herO's just been playing this sort of scrappy style. All right, now we are seeing Liberators are going to be moving out to the center of the map. herO may be able to catch some of these, but I'm not even sure he has enough Stalkers to deal with this many Liberators. Liberators getting set up. Disruptors are being chased down. The Liberators, there's enough of them to really cover this army. The Stalkers are going to do the best they can. Nova's getting thrown on out. And here we see Liberator's going to be getting set on up here. herO, he's going to be engaging into this. Nova's going to be going down, but he's losing a lot of Stalkers right now. Stalkers picking off the odd unit here and there, but herO, I mean, you got to get a lot of value with Stalkers for them to be efficient. Liberator's coming on in here to go for some harassment as well. And yeah, this is looking pretty rough here for our Protoss player. He's going to be able to intercept some of these Liberators once again, which is very nice. I mean, volleys down 2 of them, gets a 3rd as well. Very important for him. He's just warped in so many more DTs once again. The Ghost can always EMP them though. Disruptor goes down, gets a decent connection. All the DTs have been EMP'd though, so they're no longer there. The Stalkers have actually been caught out, so KeeN shredding a lot of them. GG. KeeN takes a 3-0 versus herO. That was such a fantastic last game. A 27-minute Terran versus Protoss. Such a scrappy style by herO. But in the end, KeeN just too solid. And if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. I know it's not the usual Afreeca World format, just me solo casting this and not just a VOD, but hope you guys enjoyed the game's awesome. It was really fun to watch and sort of get the fill on what happened here. So KeeN 3-0 in the first series. The next one I'll be casting will be Bunny versus a Laser. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.